And now, another exciting episode.
Okay, we
We're
are live.
Yes.
Live.
Yes.
Welcome to our four-year
Four-year
anniversary
anniversary.
show. Wow.
Yes.
4 years.
Wow.
Wow.
4
Isn't
years.
that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy.
True.
It's crazy. And have you noticed you offer ice cream and people come? I mean, it just. It could be, like the coldest day in the winter.
And I think we'd still have a good turnout.
And we'd still have a great turnout for ice cream. I don't know what it is. What is it about ice cream that everybody loves so much?
Well, it's not just the ice cream, it's the hot fudge that goes with it. Am I right? Okay.
Oh, is that what it is?
See, it's the combination.
It's the combination.
And it's free.
And it's free, yes.
So if you're in TV land and miss the surprise, there is an ice cream Sunday social going on in the multipurpose room. So come on down.
That's right.
Yes.
You're not the only one coming now, though. That's for sure. Not as long as there's ice cream to be had. That's all I gotta say.
When are we having a wine show?
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I could do some cheese with that wine too. All right. Well,
Okay.
I guess we should say, we were supposed to have the show 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And I got sick, so I got that crud, and so I remember calling Lisa and said, I just can't do it, Lisa. And
I said, but the ice cream.
and
What
she
are we going to do,
That's
Tom?
what she said. She goes, what are we going to do with the ice cream? I said, I think it can stay frozen for another week or two. And I said, if you and Ken want to go ahead, just go ahead. And she goes, no, we're not doing it without you. And contrary to some rumors out there, I didn't go into the hospital. I think there's some people think that I actually went into the hospital. I said, but I didn't. I just had that crud for a couple days, and so I was out for a little while. But
Yep.
and some of you probably have had some of that stuff. It is not fun when you get that. I can tell you that. So glad to be over it. Glad to be over it. So, but thank you. I've had a lot of people saying that they are glad to see me back. So
Yes.
yeah. So here we are.
Here we are. Yes.
years later.
So we're going to do some special things today because
Yes.
it is our 4-year anniversary. So the trivia questions today, we have 3 questions, so we're going to have 3 opportunities to win today. So here in the studio audience as well as TV land, so I'll give you the number for that in just a second. But Jim Kalacki has given us 3 wonderful questions today.
3
Yes,
wonderful questions.
3 wonderful questions. So we're going to split it out throughout the show today. So the first question, if you're the winner to it, we get a special bag today.
You've got 3 bags full, just like the rhyme.
I do.
Lisa,
I do.
Lisa, have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags
bags
full.
full.
Yes.
And
So
it's a mystery bag.
It's a mystery bag, so you aren't going to know what's in it, but it's worth winning it.
Yes.
That's all I can say.
Yes, it's the extra ice cream.
And we will at the end of the show, we'll reveal what's
We will.
in the bag.
We will.
So,
Absolutely.
So people know.
Yep.
But yeah, that's going to be great. So.
Okay, so get your phones out, because here in the studio audience as well, you can call into Michelle at 336-389-4103. So one more time, 336-389-4103.
Now, do you think people in here, because it's a shorter distance, can get to her faster?
By running out there?
I think the
No, the
phones are going to
call.
work the same.
Oh, they don't? Okay.
Yes,
All right.
so
Now,
I think equal
In all
opportunity.
seriousness, though, we don't want the studio audience calling out the answer.
No, you have to call on your phone
you have to call on your phone if you
to
think you know,
Michelle.
so.
Yes, that way everybody has the same opportunity.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, number again, 336-389-4103. Okay, here's the first question.
I'm nervous.
Ready? Okay. What is the largest New England state? The phone is open. What is the largest New England state? Call.
Is that in the U.S.? I don't know that.
No, it's England.
Oh, New England. Okay, I got it. Okay, New England.
The
yes.
largest New England state.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
All
That's
right.
the first question. We'll ask more later. So,
All right. I'm sure somebody will get that sooner or
Okay.
later. So I think we really wanted to take a trip down memory lane a little bit, didn't we?
Yes, we do.
Because it was
So-
4 years ago. You all probably still have a vivid recollection of what happened 4 years ago in March of 2020.
Yes.
When our world changed for the worse in a lot of ways. But, you know, in the end, we're back out of that now. So
That's
that's
right,
good. But
that's
why
right.
don't you share some of the things that were going on
Sure.
at that time when,
So I
with that
looked
show?
back at our agendas from March and just picked out a few things that we were talking about. So we created the COVID protocols, and they literally were changing daily. That's why our show did start, and we started out as a daily show. Rules were changing as we went.
Yep.
But
Every
nobody
day.
had a playbook for it. We were having to create it, and nobody out there had it. So things were changing. The compartmentalization, it's a hard word to say.
It is, yes.
I had to say it several times back in March of 2020. Doing that to the campus to minimize COVID spread. In case we did have a case here, it was just trying to separate that, which, you know, caused a lot of things in itself. Just trying to separate a campus that is so much a social campus. That was a hard thing to go through.
Yeah.
Telling people if you live outside, stay outside. If you're inside, stay inside. So that was a hard.
We need to clarify that. If staying outside meant in the cottages, not
Yes.
outside, so.
It did,
Yeah,
Tom.
Yeah, okay.
You're
I'm making
right.
sure people, you know, some weren't here during that time. I didn't want them to think that we
Okay.
were actually making people stay outside, okay?
We had
That's
residents
fair.
under the bridges. It was awful.
Oh. Stopping all activities on campus, which was major for us. I mean, we're known for our special events, our physical activities here, all of that. We really was stopping all that because you could gather, was it less than 10 people? So it
Yeah.
just doesn't work for a community of 600 plus. So that just wasn't realistic. Really, that's when we started broadcasting everything.
Yeah.
We were broadcasting entertainment, which also meant doing bingo from your homes. Okay, people remember that, yes. So you would have a bingo card in your home, apartment, wherever you were at, and they'd call out numbers, and people would call in when they had bingo. So it was just a whole different way of doing it. And I think you were, if you won, you had a candy bar in your in-house mailbox, and that's how you were able to pick it up. So
Well, Brian was the one delivering them back in those days, so I don't know if you always ended up with a candy bar in your box, so. You like to
I'm
keep a
not
few of
sure.
them. I think you like to keep a few of those candy bars,
he
so.
gave one, ate one, gave one, ate one. I get it. We created a takeout dining system for inside residents and outside residents. That's how we use the clubhouse. Literally, the clubhouse opened the early part of March, and we closed it after a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's
And we
right.
created that as kind of our outside hub area. No gathering with friends on campus or off, no visitors on campus. You probably remember, we would tell you your family could drop off stuff at the clubhouse, and we would get it to you, we would deliver it to you, but they couldn't actually come and see you in person. It was truly just a whole different world then. Just couldn't risk that. We truly created a special bubble here at River Landing, which we did for many, many months, just to try to keep COVID out of here.
Yep.
So just a whole different time then. No unnecessary travel. Social distancing, we all remember the 3 W's. Yes, the wash hands, wear a mask, and wait 6 feet for others. You remember the little signs on the floors in different areas here of dots that you had to stand on. Hand sanitizers everywhere we could put them.
Yeah.
So it just a whole different time.
We tried to make a twister game out of those footprints on the floor. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
Didn't work.
Oh, many of you may remember we stopped housekeeping because we couldn't have them come into your homes. But the creative part was creating that clean team. So we had 6 staff members that volunteered basically to give out their had to give up their outside life. They stayed here for 2+ months with no contact with the outside.
Yeah.
They could not see their family, nothing. They were here and committed to this. That was amazing. So we called them our clean team, and that's pretty remarkable.
Did we ever tell people we had 100 people volunteer for that? Who wanted 2 months vacation from their family?
Oh
No, they were
gosh.
paying us to do it. No, you know, that was,
Yeah.
I know you were kidding, but I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
was
big deal.
that was surprising. I
It
really,
was.
when we put that idea out to the EBS team, I really wasn't sure if we were going to get anybody that
No.
was willing to do
I mean,
that. And
Yes, I mean, we had a couple of them were single folks, but a couple of them, they did have spouses. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it was really,
they
it
still
was
had
a sacrifice.
and they still had the spouses.
They did, they did.
That was the real positive to that idea.
It was. So that was something creative that came out of that. It was limited housekeeping, but at least it was something. The closure of the beauty salons, the wellness equipment area, the pool, the gift shop. And then 4 years to this date, March 27th, the order came out to stay home. That today, 4 years ago, was the official order, stay home. So you remember that time. There were times where people a lot of works were closed, and you had to have a letter. My husband delivered medications at the time. He had to carry with him a letter just in case he would get stopped. You had to prove that you were a necessary worker. So when you think back to that 4 years ago,
Yeah.
we were in a much different situation. Any packages that came into the campus, we were sanitizing them. You know, the big thing, nobody knew how the spread was happening. So you did everything that you could think of.
You know, the hard part about that was rubbing all that sanitizer on the packages. That's what really.
Oh. Residents started using Instacart and Amazon, and they still are.
Yes, they are.
Okay, the front desk, we can tell you, there's between probably 50 and 60 packages that come in a day for Amazon. It's amazing. And pre-COVID, we would get a few,
Yeah.
but it was never anything like that.
Half
So that
dozen
is
to a
something.
dozen, right? Maybe at most.
Yeah,
So,
that's something that has came from that and has stayed
Yep.
with us. So Amazon does make it very easy to get things, that's for sure. We offered food boxes called Back to the Basics. Does anybody remember those? Yep. They had fruits, vegetables, meats, other items in there. We offered ABC store runs.
So many runs.
So many.
so the great part about that was all the staff we weren't utilizing in other areas, we needed all of them to help
We
with
did.
the ABC runs,
We
right?
did.
So
We did. So the first time that Whitney went to pick up our alcohol order, she was told it was too much. We had to get a permit to transport that much. So that really did happen.
Yep.
So
She was on a first name basis with
she
those
was,
people.
I think they offered her a job
yeah,
as
they
well.
offered her a job.
She did so good.
Yeah.
So that was interesting, very creative.
We also did the strawberries during that
We
same
did,
time too.
we did, yes.
You all remember?
yes.
Any of you remember the strawberries?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, well, I think we only did that once or maybe twice. 'Cause that was quite a feat,
That was,
wasn't it?
that was interesting, boxes of strawberries.
But they were great.
They were good.
It was good timing.
Yep. We had residents making masks for us. We had the pattern for it, all the fabric masks that we were
Yeah.
doing, because you couldn't get things like that. Just a whole
No, because that was
different-
all coming from China.
Yes.
So, you know, China
mean,
kept
we-
all that stuff. We never
Right,
got any of that
right.
stuff.
We didn't have any of that. And then the biggest thing, the scarcity of toilet paper, paper towel, Kleenex. If you went to the grocery store, you saw the aisles were empty. I mean, there wasn't any. That was the bad part.
And no Sears catalogs either.
No,
What a time
Whatever
for
it takes.
what a time for Sears to go belly up. Ah,
so we started distributing a lot of the paper products. Just ignore them. We distributed a lot of the paper products out of the front desk. And even for our staff members, every Friday, we were giving out a roll of toilet paper just because they were experiencing the same things. So
And it was new toilet paper. I want you to know that. It was, I mean, it was,
so they were very thankful for that because nobody could find the stuff. I mean, it was hard.
Yeah.
It was very hard to do that.
the crime of wrapping somebody's house with toilet paper dropped way off.
Yes, it did.
It really
You
did.
couldn't waste
no,
it.
no.
Oh, so that was just some of the things that, looking through the agendas that we talked about in March 4 years ago. So, and now look at us. We're having socials. We're back to going on trips and all that good stuff. So,
I remember finding out when Target was going to have a shipment of toilet paper come in, and it was on Sunday between 10 and 11, and I was always always make sure I was there at noon to be able to get toilet paper because
Yeah.
we needed it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
those were
Crazy.
days.
Those were days.
Those were interesting days.
Yes, they were. So.
Days that I never want to ever have.
Never.
To be honest with you. So, and it really, it was kind of scary to be a staff member at that time because, like Lisa said, there was no handbook or any manual about how to handle this type of situation. We were making this stuff up as we went along, and one of the good things that came out of this, in my opinion, was, if we weren't close enough to our sister communities before then, we got really close with them afterwards because we were all sharing best practices at that point. I was having weekly phone calls. Well, for a while it was almost daily phone calls, but it got to be weekly phone calls with the executive directors of the other communities. And even Penny Byrne, Bonda over there, Von Hollingsworth, and I have become good friends since this all happened. We were sharing best practices as well and trying to help each other out. It was neat in some ways to see people come together to try and help solve problems. And so that was something we hadn't had before, right? And and then getting residents caught up on technology. Wow, that was a
Oh yes.
right. You had to come into the technology lane, didn't you?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
if you wanted food, you needed to be able to know how to order it,
Right.
and it was.
Yep.
It really brought us, who would have thought we'd be this big on Zoom now? And,
Right.
what were some of the other ones we were using, the things that we were using back in those days?
Right.
Microsoft Teams, and anyway, it kind of really pushed us into a lot of
did.
new directions that we never had anticipated we'd
right.
go into. But,
Right. No, very true.
but here we are 4 years later.
Yep.
I'll share one quick story. When President Trump at that point, you all might remember this was a Wednesday night. I think it was like March 13th or something like that of 2020. He announced that we were closing our borders basically, and that planes, that he would encourage any American citizens living abroad or wanting to come back to the U.S. to come back to the U.S. like in the next day and a half. Well, I happen to have a son that was in Germany who was studying abroad, and he wasn't even at his place in Germany he normally was. He was traveling in Germany. So we had to get a hold of him, get him back to Mannheim, Germany, where he was stationed at, get him checked out of Germany, and get him on a plane. That we did that all in a day and a half somehow. We managed to be able to do that to get him back into the States. It was crazy.
Yeah.
That was just
Yep.
absolutely crazy times. So, yeah, like I said, we don't want to relive that anymore. So.
No.
This is the last time we're doing this anniversary show. That's all I got to say.
Oh. Oh.
So-
Okay. So we typically do COVID updates.
We typically do, yes.
Typically do.
Yes.
However, most of you probably have seen over the last couple weeks now, the CDC has put out new guidelines. So it's not COVID per se update, guidelines anymore. Now they've lumped it into respiratory viruses. So many of you have probably seen that. Cindy has put everything up on the CareMerge portal, so everything's on there for you to look at, from preventing, different strategies, what to do, all those kind of things. So there really isn't going to be going forward the COVID update anymore, but if there's something significant that's happening here, we'll share that. So just make sure you check that out. Also, she's putting out something tonight in your in-house mailboxes, a little more information on just a quick look at if I do get COVID or any respiratory. So this also includes RSV and flu, yep, any type of virus like that. Now they're lumping it all into one category, which we knew we'd get here someday. It's taken almost 4 years to get here, so we're here now. So that will be in your boxes tonight as well. And if you ever have questions, just call Cindy. She's been our guru with that, sitting in the back of the room here. So thank you for that, Cindy, keeping track of all that. So just to kind of sum up the new guidelines, if you have a respiratory virus, which includes COVID, you stay home and away from others until you have gone 24 hours with no fever, and that means not using medicines to reduce the fever, and your symptoms are improving. Then you take an additional 5 days with prevention strategies, which are masks and social distancing. So you wouldn't want to go and be around a group of 50 people when you're still in that state. So that's what they call prevention strategies, is things like that. So they still are suggesting an additional 5 days for that. So But it is much different now. It's not the flat 10 days. It could be different for everybody depending on symptoms and fever. So that's kind of where they're classifying everything now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I would go a step further. You know, if you're still having symptoms, even if you're improving, don't go out and have lunch or dinner with fellow residents. Don't subject them to that.
No,
I mean,
absolutely.
you know, that's, to me, that's just common sense. We shouldn't be doing
Absolutely.
that, right?
Yes.
So, you know, so please don't do that. I don't care what the CDC guidelines say. You know, that's very important,
Yeah.
I think. That's, to me, is the common sense part of this thing.
And that's why you're still supposed to take those additional 5 days
Yeah.
to do those things of social distancing and mask wearing.
Yeah,
So
for
should
sure.
still be doing that. Yeah.
But here's the good news. We are not going to talk about COVID as part of these shows any longer. I mean, we're done talking about COVID. So I'm very happy about that.
For
mean,
TV land, there's clapping in the audience right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, how many times did we go through, well, now we got a new variant coming out, and you
Right.
need to be aware of this and this and this. Remember, it was like, oh, this one's more contagious, but maybe it's not as viral. And then you went into the next one. It was,
Yeah.
you know, 1AB6, you know, it was like, oh, watch out for that variant, you know. I mean, it's just, wow, that got old fast,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
So
absolutely.
thank goodness maybe we're beyond that now. So let's hope and pray that we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to do another prize.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes.
Thank you for
We have another
remembering
bag.
that.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do our second trivia question. So get out your phones again. Okay? And I assume we got an answer to the first one, Michelle. We did, okay. So now you're going to call Michelle again if you know the answer to this one. And if you've already won the bag, if you were the first winner, please let's let someone else get it this time. So the number 336-389-4103. Okay, here we go. The question is, what is the name of the largest island in Maine? What is the
Largest
name of the
island
largest island in Maine?
in Maine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know that the rain in Maine falls mainly on the plain, but I don't know the island.
I thought that was Spain.
No. It's Maine. Yeah, it's Maine.
All right, no winners yet. Now, we did have a winner from the first group, from the first question. So I saw Michelle nod at me when she came in.
Yep.
So we're still waiting for a winner for the second
Okay.
question.
So what is the name of the largest island in Maine?
Okay.
Okay.
There's a clue there, I think, about what the answer to the first question was.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Oh,
too
it's
late
too
for the
late.
clue.
You're right.
Right.
Why didn't I say that sooner?
Oh, we might have a winner.
Yep.
All
We'll
right.
see.
Well, let's keep moving on,
Okay,
Lisa.
keep going with updates. Curana Clinic. So we are still going through a transition process, of course. We
Yeah.
knew it would take a little bit of time,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, we tried to warn residents, you know, when you switch from one medical provider to the next one, we got a winner, by the way.
Okay, good.
One medical provider to another one. You know, we knew this up front, you know, switching out of Wake, switching to Curana, that was going to be, this is a big deal. So, you know, the clinic team, you know, we got great folks. You all know the folks that are in there, right? I mean, we kept all of the folks in there pretty much. So we got a great team in there, but it just takes time to transition over from a software standpoint, from a practice standpoint, everything, all the equipment that's coming in is new equipment from Curana. I mean, Wake took out all their stuff, and so it's a process. And so we knew that this was going to take maybe as many as a couple months to really kind of get our feet completely underneath of us. So if you've had an incident or concern about something that's happened, I would just ask you to be patient with the team down there as they kind of get their feet underneath of them.
Right.
You know, we've got a great team. I will say that the new medical director and the new nurse practitioner for the healthcare center side have been really well received over there. They've been very engaged with the families and the residents over there. It's gone over very, very well. So we've already seen some really, really positive trends coming from switching over to Curana. So we'll just, like I said, just kind of bear with us as we get through it. Keep praising our team down there. We got some good ones with Keela and Liz and with Amber down there. We got a really good team. You all know that.
Yep.
So
Great team.
thank you. Thank you for your patience.
Okay, St. Andrews, give us an
Yeah,
update.
we're moving along in St. Andrews. You know, we are just about done with phase one, believe it or not. Can you believe it? We're almost done with phase one already. And they're actually starting to mobilize on to phase two at this point. Phase two is going to be a little bit bigger in that it's kind of broken into two parts. Part of that phase is to actually wall in the patio in the back and make that an enclosed sunroom. So that's part of it. Part of it is increasing the size of the kitchen and working on some of the back of behind the nurse's station as well as doing 4 rooms, that moving over to the new 4 rooms. So we're getting close to actually moving forward to the next step. So, they've said that it would take about 7 weeks to get through the easier stages. Phase 2 is going to be longer just because it's more involved. But so we're still thinking that maybe by October we're going to be done with the phasing, and so that'll be good. And right now we have 12 residents, and so I think you all know this, but really what we're doing is when we switch since we have 16 rooms total, we're taking 4 at a time that are out, so the 12 residents there still have a room. And as we finish a phase, we'll move 4 residents into that and start on the 4 rooms that they vacate and just kind of keep going around until we get everything done. So it's going well. I don't think we've put up any pictures yet of the final looks of it, because we're not quite there yet, but they're getting close. And so when we get the final pictures done, the final things done, we'll start putting some pictures up on CareMerge so you all can kind of see some of the progress that's going on. But removing the big closets that were in those rooms. If any of you have seen any of the St. Andrews rooms, the rooms are not that huge to begin with, to be quite honest with you. But a lot of the room was taken up by these big lockable closets. And so that's what we've been trying to eliminate. We're trying to eliminate those closets and do more of a built-in closet as you come into each of the resident rooms. And so I think it's great. It looks super already.
Frees up a whole wall.
It does.
To be
It's
able
amazing.
To be usable.
I think it'll be great.
Okay, upcoming meal packaging events.
Woohoo!
Okay, who signed up for the next ones? It's next. Okay, great, awesome.
Put 2
Did you
hands
put
up if
2
you signed up
hands
for
up?
both days. Yes!
Oh, look it. Oh, so that would be next Friday and Saturday, so it's coming up quick.
It is
It's
coming
just
up
next
quick.
week. We're going to package 100,000 meals between the 2 days, so 50,000 on Friday, 50,000 on Saturday. We are doing 1.5-hour time slots this time instead of the 2 hours to make it a little more doable for folks. But if you want to pick up more than one shift,
You are welcome to do
we're
that.
happy to have you do that. Absolutely. So that's exciting. That's coming. And also want to thank you all. We talked about it on the last show. If anybody knew of even some outside businesses or vendors that might want to help be part of this, we've had several people now come to us and some businesses come to us and help sponsor this event,
Yeah.
which is super.
Yeah.
And when I say sponsor, it's monetarily as well as coming out to volunteer for the event. So both is a huge help, because we did mention, of course, food costs have risen,
Yeah.
just like everything else. So our meals now are costing a little bit more. So
Yeah,
all
and
that's been a help for us.
And Michelle's gonna do a little sign that we're gonna put up during the packaging event of the sponsors that we've gotten so far. And
Yep.
we've got probably 7 or 8 sponsors, when you say, Michelle, something like that, 7 or 8 sponsors so
Yeah,
far.
mhm.
So that's really great. But what I would ask you to do is, if you see any representatives from any of these folks that are doing this,
Right.
please thank them for that. I mean, this is a big deal for us. And
Yep.
Yeah.
we know the cost of the meals for doing the packaging events has gone up.
Right.
So trying to fundraise for that, we can only get so far with the fundraising.
Right.
So having the sponsorships helps us
We
get
can
the
only
rest of the
do
way.
so many reverse raffles. Okay?
This is true.
Ken only
This
has
is
so
very
many
true.
cousins.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, and speaking of that, Ken, we do thank you so much. That's
I'm happy to do
that
that.
is. If any of you have been to reverse raffle, don't you think he does such a great job with that? So. Now I will say it, the staff one that we just did, I had a lot of people come up to me and go, "That is your chaplain? That is your chaplain?"
No, it was my cousin.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was your cousin. That's
And to
right,
be
yeah.
clear, I do have more cousins, but only a certain number of them are out of prison. So
But Ken, thank you.
you're welcome.
so speaking of reverse raffles,
Yes.
our next one, I don't know if the date's out yet. I think information's coming, but you all will be the first to hear. Save the date, May 17th. That's
May
the next one.
17th.
So what cousin is going to be coming? Is it one we know?
No.
Oh, it's
This
a new
is,
cousin.
This is actually not a cousin. He's an uncle
Oh,
from South Carolina,
okay,
Colonel Josiah Beauregard Bob.
okay.
What was
A
that?
true Southern gentleman,
Colonel Josiah.
Josiah Beauregard.
Beauregard. Bob.
Bob, yeah.
Okay, all right, I got it. All right.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a Bob in everybody's
I
name.
noticed that. It seems to be a common theme. I don't know.
We bob a lot.
Oh, very good. So that's coming up. So more information will be coming out on that. Habitat for Humanity, the Christmas card competition, it's almost done. So if you have done something or want to do something, you have to have it in by Friday. So make sure you submit those. And then also we had a group of residents, a couple staff members go recently to help out Habitat with, I believe, building some playhouses. It wasn't an actual house this time. We thought it was going to be, but they didn't have one ready for us at that point. But we do have another date coming up in April, and we're hoping there will be a house ready at that point that we can help with the build on. So I'll be watching for that. Our new team member, a lot of you maybe have gotten to meet Celeste. She was here today helping dish out some ice cream. So we're slowly introducing her to people. We don't want to scare her off. So we're slowly introducing her. Oh,
So pop in and say hi when you get a chance.
She is a wonderful lady, so hopefully you'll get to stop in and meet her sometime soon. She's already gone on a trip. She's been here for an evening event, so in 1 week we've packed in as much as we could.
Yes, and she
So-
came back with the
and
same
she
number
still
that
came
she
back.
Yeah. And so did all the people that went with her.
Yes, yes, they
that's
did.
important.
Oh, so we're excited to have Celeste here. So stop in and say hello to her. Okay, more events and announcements. Okay, we have a lot of stuff today. So the fountain behind the main building.
Yay!
Woohoo! It's working.
Is that the new soda fountain?
It is.
Oh,
It's not a soda fountain.
Go help
Do not
yourself.
drink
Sorry.
from it. Oh, but it is working, so that is super. We have an extravaganza on Friday, so come out for that. That's 5:30 to 7:30, right behind here, the multipurpose room outside. Invite your families and friends to come. We have 14,000 Easter eggs to hide.
The bottom of the pond, nobody will find them.
So there's going to be a lot out there.
Yes.
So please bring family
I
and
didn't
friends.
think we were going to hide all 14,000, but are we hiding all 14,000?
We're going to hide several. I don't know how many we're going to
Several
put out.
thousand.
I'm not so sure you can hide 14,000 eggs out.
We had staff members and residents donate candy and eggs
Yeah,
for
that's
this
great.
event. We just didn't know how generous people were going to be. 14,000 is a lot. That's a lot of eggs.
I've heard we're going to donate some, right?
We probably are
Yes,
to
yeah.
other
Yeah.
groups. So, but that'll be a lot of fun. So that's Friday
So
night.
won't the eggs go bad if they sit out too long on the...
No, they won't. They're plastic.
Oh, okay, all right.
And there's wrapped candy inside, so good for a couple months.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking like hard-boiled eggs were going to be
No,
out
no.
there or something. You know.
No, I think we're
You're
okay.
dating yourself.
I know, right?
Yes.
Oh. Another announcement on Thursday, so that's tomorrow, we'll be power washing the original parking curb in the Pinehurst parking lot. So that's the new Pinehurst lot that we extended here. And on the old part of the parking lot, on the curbing, it's grayer because it's older.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to make it a little bit newer to blend in with the rest of the parking lot there. So if you are parking in the older parking lot area, we are asking that you move your car before 9 a.m. tomorrow to the new part of the parking lot so we can get into that curbing. So hopefully it'll make it look shiny and new again. So, Stations of the Cross, can you talk a little more about that?
Yes, it's
Okay.
it's an individual prayer activity. It starts right out here by the back door. There are guides available, and you go right outside the back door, and there's the first station. You go clockwise around what used to be the putting green. 14 different stations with prayers and a meditation for each one.
Okay.
It takes about 15 to 20 minutes. I encourage you to do it.
That's great.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you for
And
doing
if you'd
that.
done it this morning, you could have been baptized at the same
You
time.
could, you could, you could.
All the rain we had, so.
Well, it's supposed to be the way of suffering, so that would be one way.
Okay, okay. Oh, if you missed the Mary Michaels concert, that was a concert that we just had, and everybody said it was amazing. It is now available for your viewing pleasure on the video page of CareMerge portal. So visit the left-hand navigation bar and click on the videos. So it is there for you to watch now. She was so good that we have booked her for December. She's going to do a Christmas concert for us. So everybody told us we need to get her back at Christmas time. So we found a date. So we have already booked her. Farmers Market is coming back to River Landing again. So we had that last year that we started. And they set up right back by the loading dock with the kitchen and dining area and the bistro parking. So the first one starts next Thursday, I believe. So, and they're here from 11 to 1. So please check them out. Merger update, we have a merger meeting next week.
Yeah.
April 3rd.
Yeah.
Right here in multipurpose room,
It's
1030
Wednesday.
and 1390. So,
Yes, Steve and Tim will both be here.
okay,
They'll be talking about the new company, Kentura.
right.
Kentura.
And I would just like to say, it should be spelled Kentura.
I think it was
just-
obvious why they didn't do that. Because then it would have to been Kentura Bob. I don't know how that would have.
Right. Which really doesn't work in North Carolina, does it?
No.
Kentura Bob.
Oh. Another reminder, if you need medical transportation, make sure you fill out those forms. There's a box right there where you sign up for activities. Put your form in there. But we only check that box Monday through Friday. So going forward, we're actually going to pull it up on the weekends. We've found that sometimes folks are putting it in Saturday or Sunday, and then they want to ride Monday. We don't have enough time to schedule that. So you'll see that box will only be available to submit requests Monday through Friday. And also, just as a reminder, we need 2 business days to do that. It's like a little puzzle. It is a lot of transportation that's done here, and it takes a lot of coordination, a lot of people to make those drives possible. We drive all over in the triad here, so it's a little puzzle to put all that together. So thank you for helping us with that.
I'm not even sure it's a little puzzle. It's a pretty big puzzle.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Because we
yeah.
do a lot of transportation.
We do.
That
So
has
we
really
do.
increased in the last year or
It
so.
has,
Yeah.
absolutely, and it's a great service.
Yeah.
When you can get dropped off at the front of your medical door, that's super. You don't have to worry about parking, so. The new nature trail here at River Landing, Jenny Rice, I saw her earlier, not sure if she's here, but that was from a donation from her to create that. Now, this nature trail is a nature trail. It is not a flat surface where you're walking on a sidewalk. This is truly a nature trail. So we have folks that have used hiking sticks with it. There is inclines in there. There's going to be some rough road because it's in the middle of the wooded area. So that's what it is. So I just want to be very clear about that it is very much a natural area. So it leads 2 areas between the Marsh's Garden, which is on hole number 9, up to the clubhouse area by the hitting net there. So it's a short path,
Yeah.
but it takes you through the wooded area there. But just want to
You might even find a
wanna
golf ball or
stress
2 in
that.
there when you're walking
You
along
just
it,
might.
so.
You just might. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's important to point out that it wasn't intended as an easy nature trail
It's
that you're
not.
going to be able. There's some incline there. I mean, if you think about those woods where they are, there's a natural incline there. So it's almost impossible to make it completely
Right.
level all the way
Right.
through. So
It's not.
I
Yeah.
would not. I would say if you have some difficulties in walking or whatever, this may not be
Then
the right
that
trail
wouldn't be
for
the
you.
trail for you.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
And please, no golf carts on there. That would be great
No.
not to have golf carts on there.
No
so,
golf carts.
Yeah.
Oh.
There is a pond at the bottom of that,
Mm-hmm.
that I've been in a couple times with the golfing. So, it's a little hidden down there, but there is a pond down there. So
You were in it, or was the golf ball in it?
it's something like that.
Okay.
But, if you're driving a golf cart and you lose control, you could end up in that pond.
Yes, you
I
could.
mean, it's possible. So,
Yep.
Oh. As a reminder, the pub is closed tomorrow night. There's a Resident of the Future event in there, so just a reminder. And then another save the date, the car show is May 11th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. behind the multipurpose room here outside. The volunteer sign-up sheet is already out, so we have volunteers that cook the hot dogs, wrap the hot dogs, put the boats together with chips and a cookie, and Then we also have folks that make popcorn. So
Thank you.
opportunities are out there.
Thank you, Cindy. Oh, she left.
She left.
Cindy left. Cindy left. That used to be her job. So
Used to be?
used to be. She doesn't do popcorn anymore.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
why.
All right. I don't know why either.
And I do have a classic car to share this year.
Do you?
Yeah, it's a 2015 Prius. You'll want to be there.
Well, you can really hear that engine roar on that thing, can't you?
That four-banger really wraps it up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Before we get to Ken, because Ken's up next, we are going to do our last question.
Our last question.
Okay. So last winner of the day.
So who's been the winner so far? Do you know?
Well,
Let's announce the two winners
Sure.
so far
Okay.
that we've had.
winners so far. The first winner is John Hoyt.
Oh.
Right here in the
He was
studio
closest to Michelle.
audience.
Yeah.
See, I told you it would go faster.
You were right. And then our second winner was another studio audience member, Susie Quick, right back there.
Wow.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to go for a third winner now. Maybe we'll get someone in TV land. You never know.
Or maybe we've cut off transmissions at TV Land.
Maybe
you never
we
know,
have.
right?
Everybody's here. Oh, okay, the third question. Have your phones ready. 336-389-4103. What is the name of the renowned U.S. National Park on Mount Desert Island? What is the name of the renowned U.S. National Park on Mount Desert Island?
All right.
Was that a clue for the second one, too?
Yeah, I think it is.
It sure was.
They've been kind of layered that way, haven't they? Yeah, all right.
Oh, thank you, Jim Clackey, for all these questions. It's making people.
This is Michelle.
Oh,
This is
oh.
Michelle.
We maybe
She's
have
got
a
a
winner.
phone call. Let's see. We'll see if she's
Okay.
got a winner there or not. So Ken, she does have your stuff up there. So if you want to.
She does.
Oh,
she
sure.
does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you might.
Okay.
You're gonna
Our
have
studio
to,
audience, you might want to.
You're gonna have to crane your neck to see that over on the side. It says, in a span of 11 years, 115 people died in a weightlifting accident at the gym. In the same 11 years, only one person died eating a donut. Make good choices. Make good choices.
We should have had donuts today
We
instead of ice
should've.
cream.
So I just checked my home insurance policy, and apparently, if my blanket is stolen in the middle of the night, I won't be covered.
Ah. That's a good one.
That's my groaner for the day.
Yeah, that's a groaner, all right.
Here we go. My dad always said, work until your bank account looks like a phone number. Well, I did. Available balance, $9.11.
That's cute.
I don't think that's what Dad had in
No,
mind.
I don't think
No.
he did either.
Don't wear headphones while vacuuming. I've just finished the whole house before realizing the vacuum wasn't plugged in. I hate it when that happens. I hate it when that happens. Okay. I really think I deserve an award for the amount of sarcastic comments I've managed to keep to myself on a daily basis.
You probably say that, don't you? That rings a bit of truth for you, didn't it, Ken?
Yep. I'm at the age where if you text me at 10:17 p.m., I'm texting you back at 5:12 a.m.
That's probably
I get,
That's
true.
pretty
I
good.
get texts from my kids all the time
There
after
you
I've
go.
gone to bed. Yeah.
Yep.
Ha ha, here's me in the 70s. These are two poodles looking at their picture album. I love that big hair.
Oh, yep.
Did you hear about the guy who invented the knock knock joke? He won the Nobel Prize.
I think that was
That's
the
another
groaner.
groaner,
That
yeah.
was the groaner.
You said you only had one, well, you had at least
had
two
two.
now.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I always try to remember that some things are better left unsaid, but it's usually after I already said it. Okay, this is the 5-year-old daughter who says, Mom, why is some of your hair white? And the mom smiles, every time you make me sad, another hair turns white. The daughter goes, wow, Mom, what did you do to Grandma?
That's great.
All right, these are the stages of Alabama spring. 1, rain and misery. 2, fake spring. 3, second winter, cold as all get out. That's where we are now. Number 4, a single day of sunshine, flowers blooming, light breeze, lounging outside weather. 5, tornadoes. 6, pollen attack. 7, mosquitoes arrive. 8, hotter than Satan's house cat. I like North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yep. I was pulled over by a police officer. He looked at my license and said, "You're supposed to be wearing glasses." I said, "I have contacts." He said, "I don't care who you know." My husband asked if he had any annoying habits and then got all offended during the PowerPoint presentation.
PowerPoint presentation.
Now, Tom, this next one is going to remind you of a former resident here, okay?
Uh-oh, here we go.
This is a 74-year-old man using his hair dryer to slow traffic near his home. Remember? We had a resident here who had the number 18 on his shirt to encourage people to mind the speed limit here. He never thought about the hair dryer thing. That's very
it's
convincing.
a good idea.
He's still here, Ken.
That's a good idea.
Yes. Yep. I'm confused how a cemetery can raise its funeral prices and blame it on the cost of living.
That's good. I like that.
It is. My boss wants me to sign up for a 401k. No way I'm running that far. It's never too late to start exercising. That's why I'm waiting until later. And this is our last one. If you take a social media sabbatical, don't announce it. Just make your last post something fun like, "I wonder if there's a bear in this cave."
Oh, that was
They were good. They were
That was
good.
good.
They were better than usual, Ken.
Yeah,
very good.
yeah. It's Holy Week.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Holy laughter.
Oh.
Well, Lisa, we had a winner
Yes,
for our
so we have
third one.
3 winners now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 3 bags. That's
Yes, we
convenient.
do.
That's very convenient.
Yes. Okay, should we share what's in the bag first?
Well, why don't you announce the answers
Okay,
and then
okay.
the
And then we'll
winners
share.
again, and then we'll do what's in the bag.
Okay, so the first question was, what is the largest New England state? And that was Maine. And that was John Hoyt, like we said, congratulations. Second question, what is the name of the largest island in Maine? And the answer is Mount Desert Island, and that was Susie Quick. And the last question, what is the name of the renowned U.S. National Park on Mount Desert Island? Acadia National Park. And the winner was Howie's Weifel. So
Oh, very good.
congratulations. Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Are these all similar?
They're
They're
all
all the same.
Yes, all the same except for the wine is different flavors.
Yes, but we have essentials here.
Yes.
Bottle of wine. In honor of COVID. In special honor of COVID. In super special honor of COVID. Or any RSV. And then, in memory of COVID.
Sanitizer.
Because we all had to work out at home.
Yes.
Because we all had to amuse ourselves at home. These can be used as frisbees. River landing mug. Straw. Oh, what is in here?
That is a mug, I believe, a river landing mug.
Ah.
Are they mugs, Michelle? Is that what they are?
Tom, take my picture. It's a mug shot. and we have candies. We have candies. Very nice. Very nice.
You know,
And
Ken, if we
this is new toilet paper. This is absolutely new.
Ken,
Never
if we wanted your mugshot, we could just go down to the post office. We can see it there.
Yes. They were supposed to have taken it down by now.
And of course, the cooler bag. That's a prize in
Oh,
itself.
yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Those are great for takeouts here. So use
Or
that
for carrying
takeouts.
paper products that you might need, right?
Whichever way.
And we all want to be cooler, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Boy, we better quit on this show before we It's maybe time for some more ice cream now after
I
that
was gonna say,
humor.
we still have some ice cream, so if anybody wants to get some more after, we'll help you out there.
Wow.
Wow.
4 years.
Yes.
Oh, it wasn't that long. It's just a little less than an hour. It just felt like 4 years, yeah.
It is kind of funny that it's just been 4 years.
Yes. Yes.
See. Ugh.
It's hard to believe.
But really, this show has become a great way for community updates. So
Yeah.
this is a way that you hear things that are going on in the community.
Yeah.
So we will continue to do this, but now it's a monthly
Yeah.
community updates.
Yeah, we're going to try and keep making it fun. We might change format a little bit too. We talked about this. Maybe we might try and have a guest come every month or something like that.
Yep.
That we could kind of.
We could put you on this side and Lisa on that side.
We could.
Oh,
I don't know
we
if I
can
can
change
handle
it
that.
up.
I'd have to talk
Change
out of
it
this side of
up.
my mouth. I don't know if I can do that. Let's see. But yeah, I think we could talk about doing some different things
Yep.
maybe. So if you
Absolutely.
got ideas for the show that you'd like to see, shoot them our way.
Right.
We're kind of rethinking that a little bit. But we just want to say thank you all very much for being a part of the River Landing family. Just thanks to our studio audience for coming today. I know we had to bribe you with ice cream, but still, we were glad you all came today. Ken, I just want to say thank you to you.
Yes.
You always bring a great sense of humor to our thing and the great things. Just appreciate you being a
That
part
really
of it.
helped us through COVID times.
Oh,
It's like we
yeah.
had to find some,
Well, we've had to find humor
Some
in
humor
something,
in-
right?
right,
Because there was so
right.
much seriousness going on
yes,
at that
a
time.
lot of hard
so,
stuff.
Yep.
And this show wouldn't be what it is without Lisa. I mean, I think you all agree. She's amazing. So she just such a great person. And what you see is what you get with Lisa. I mean, she's just that real. And so, super person. I'm glad she's there to keep me out of trouble. Between her and Michelle, they keep me out of a lot of trouble, let me just tell you. So, but
Oh,
thank you for watching us and encouraging us and just being a part of what we do here. So
yeah.
it's been a great run.
Absolutely. Well, Tom, thank you for leading us. Without a leader during this hard times,
Yeah, thank you.
it would have been,
Thank you.
yeah. I mean, really, we were creating the playbook as we went.
We
so
were.
It was,
What was kind of neat about that time is we were kind of out ahead of all our sister communities and everybody else as far as what we were doing. We really, we really shined during that time, I think.
right, right.
So, although one last story, I remember that we used to have the DoorDash folks come and start bringing food, and we had, sometimes you all may have seen or not seen this. Some of the DoorDash people are not the greatest people in the world, and so we had one come to the front gate, saw the security there, threw the stuff out on the grass, turned around, and took off.
It is a true story.
Oh, it was consistent with the name DoorDash. It was a door.
They really thought
He
that it
got-
was like police that were going to be there waiting
Yep.
for them, and they took off.
That's great.
I'll never forget that. That was pretty funny.
I think that happened a couple times.
Yeah, it might have. It might have.
Oh.
All right, we love you all. Thank you. Thanks for all for coming. Enjoy it.